Welcome back to the Bonn 2018 GLF conference. I'm Natasha Elkington, your TV host. And now I have Hiroto Mitsugi from the Food and Agriculture Organization from the UN, FAO, who's the Assistant Deputy General of the Forestry Department.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk about agriculture versus restoration.
Yes.
Which is like a major issue right now.
It is.
Trying to feed people and also restore land. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, so important thing is, so you might know that, so the reason of the 80% of deforestation is land conversion from open agricultural land from the forest. So this is the main drivers, so agriculture practice for the deforestation. So maybe in turn, maybe also changing the landscape in that region. So the issue is, so how do we make the good land use planning that every the mountain areas, even the seaside areas, everywhere that. So maybe decision maker should consider what is a sound land preparation and the land use planning. That's quite important.
Right, right. I mean, according to like figures, it looks like by 2050, our world population might hit 10 billion. So how are we going to balance this, this big population to feed them and yet also, make sure that we don't destroy our environment?
Yes. So this is a challenge at the same time, opportunities. So you can imagine that, so for feeding that big population, maybe solution is expanding the agricultural land or increase the crop yield. So one challenge is, so how to make is increasing the crop yield, particularly in Africa, in the South America. So this is also the business opportunities for private companies, also researchers, how to just make the good seed and breeding systems, and for calling the farming system is quite needed. So this is one solution way by 2050.
By 2050, yes, that's very true. And then also, you're speaking tomorrow in the plenary, about mobilizing collective action.
Sure.
So tell us more about that.
Well, so quite simply said, okay, so let's go back to the field. So, of course, for the decision makers, for the making awareness for the people, this kind of conference seminar is very much needed. At the same time, how much we can do in the field. So that's my clear message, probably tomorrow.
Okay, yes, great, because the theme of this event is commitment for action.
It is.
Yes, we've been talking a lot, so now I think the point is like, what are we going to do to act? Because we have a very small window of time to restore our...
Also, this is also a message to me.
Yes.
Often that I just engage in this kind of meeting, but I have no time to go to the forest.
Right. That's the issue,
Get me back
right?
to the forest, yes.
I get that. So you're also going to be talking about green supply chains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Public-private partnership. So what supply chains are you focusing on?
Yes. Of course, we have several issues, but maybe I may just simplify that what is needed. So private investment to the avoiding deforestation, or maybe we can say it for the sound, sustainable forest management. Of course, we have several funding systems to the climate change or environmental side, but however, it is quite difficult to just having that enough budget for making the good enough wood product, forest product in the field, because we have several forest dwellers who are producing that so quite good forest product and non-wood wood product as well. So to revitalizing the local economy is maybe the key for the sustainable forest management. So we adding that the value for the forest and wood. At the same time, we facilitate further private investment into the field of forest.
Okay, I understand. Okay, great. So how quickly do you think we're going to reach our targets?
Wow. So we can just say that several figures of the targeting, but the reality is it's not so easy. For example, maybe even the deforestation rate. So according to the United Nations Forest Program, so by 2020s, we have to stop the deforestation. So actually that speed of deforestation rate is relatively decreasing to now, but we haven't yet reached the target. So setting the target is quite important at the same time. How to just make a good enough common understanding how to prevent the deforestation, for example. So creating that common understanding, also taking them to the action. That is maybe quite basic, but at the same time quite needed.
Right. So you're saying by 2020, the idea is that there'll be no more deforestation.
Yeah.
So that's a world plan.
It is.
But do you think that because of that, they might just cut more trees until 2020?
Yeah, but planting more.
By planting more
Yeah.
also. Okay, good. Okay, so what next practical steps will your organization, will FAO be taking in terms of sustaining our environment?
So one of the issues is, so the next year's, so 21st of March, this is a World Forest Day. So we are saying that the theme of the next World Forest Day is forestry education. So this is meaning to make two things. One is that how to just expectation to be made for the next generations.
Right.
So because with tree growing, it takes so time. So probably the younger generation can have the responsibility. So we need their own roles and function. At the same time, also, so this is relating to the also with the value chain. So we need to the more knowledge or information to the end users of forest. So maybe as a wise users of forest product, it's quite needed to keep in the value chain.
Right.
So this is one of the context. So we try to targeting that 21st of March.
Okay,
It's
great.
Forest Day.
Nice. And at the GLF forum,
Yes.
so why do you think this is an important forum to try and reach our targets? And
Well, that is a quite a good opportunity just to inviting the whole many stakeholders to be gathered here so that they have also concern about the landscapes. So also we need is a more the GLF outreach into each, not only for the national level, even the regional level, and then also the community level as well.
exactly. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you very
joining
much.
us.
It's my
It's very
pleasure.
great speaking
Great.
to you.